Good morning. We are the group one and we were presenting the past one, which is about the presentation of financial statement. Past one, Philippine Accounting Standard number 1 provides basis for presentation of financial statement, which has the minimum requirement of comparability.
First is comparability. It's defined as the extent to which the information provided in the financial statement. It means dapat may consistency para maging comparable. Example, sa paglalagay ng accounts title. Ang account title ng pera ay cash. Hindi pwedeng money ang ilagay mo kasi magugulahan yung taong magko-compare. Next is two types of comparability. First is intra-comparability. It means isang entity lang pero ipagko-compare niyo siya sa previous year ng company. Second is intercomparability. Ito naman yung two entity ang pagko-compare nyo. Next.
Financial statement. Ano ba yung financial statement? Ito yung end product na ginagawa natin pagkatapos ng accounting process. Tapos may general purpose siya. Ang general purpose niya is to meet or to provide common needs for the external users who are not in the position to require an entity for tailored report. Aside from the general purpose, meron siyang primary objective which is to provide financial information that is useful in the decision making of external users. Secondary objective, to show result of management's stewardship or have transparency in the economic resources ng entity. Next, ito yung complete set or overview ng complete set ng financial statement. But before that, we will discuss first the general features. There are 8 general features of financial statement. First, fair and fair presentation and compliance with the PFRS. It's about being honest and truthful on what you put in the financial statement. Dapat proper ang selection and application ng mga accounting policies. And aside from that, dapat nagko-comply ka din sa standards na meron tayo in the Philippines, which is the Philippine Financial Reporting Standard. Kasi pag nag-comply ka doon, ina-assume na fairly represented yung financial statement mo. Pag nag-comply ka, meron tayong statement of compliance with PFRS. And pag naman may mga bagay kang hindi kinomply, makikita natin sa page 114. Yan, meron tayong departure from PFRS requirements. So, yun. Next is going concern. Ginagawa ang financial statement in going concern basis. Ibig sabihin, ginagamit din kasi natin yung mga financial statement for future projections. And so yun, kapag history of profitable operation ang company mo, may conclude na entity is going concern. Tapos kapag naman may mga material uncertainties na nangyayari, kailangan yun i-disclose para malaman din ng mga external users. Next is accrual basis of accounting. Pag accrual basis, nire-record natin ang transaction kapag na-occur and hindi kapag may pumasok na pera o may lumabas. Kaya nga tayo may accounts receivable and accounts payable para doon natin ilagay yung mga papasok at palabas na pera. Except sa statement of cash flow kasi yung cash flow ay minomonitor natin in cash basis which is kapag may pumasok at may lumabas na pera. Next is materiality and aggregation. Sa materiality and aggregation, similar and dissimilar material items are presented separately. Tapos, kapag dissimilar immaterial items naman are aggregated, meaning yung mga hindi importanteng bagay or information ay tinatotal na natin. Kapag naman importanteng bagay or malaking amount, kailangan makita natin kung saan yun napunta. Next is offsetting. Offsetting, it means asset, liabilities, income, and expense are separately presented. They are not offset. So, offsetting means pagsasama-sama ng mga major accounts. And offsetting, nangyayari siya or pinipermit siya kapag kumukuha tayo ng net amount. For example, kukunin natin yung profit or net income, pinagma-minus natin or pinagsasama natin yung income and expense. Next,
Next is frequency reporting. A frequency report only shows conversions for the impressions that occurred during the report's date range. For example, if a user generates a report from December 1st to December 10th, they might see 10 conversations if the frequency report. Those conversations all came from impressions that delivered between December 1st and December 10th. Next is comparative information. A comparative information a comparative statement is a document used to compare a particular financial statement with prior period statements. Previous financial are presented alongside the latest figures in side-by-side columns, enabling investors to identify trends, track a company's progress, and compare it with industry rivals. Next is consistency of presentation. An undertaking changes the presentation of its financial statements only if the new presentation provides information that is reliable and is more relevant to users, and the revised structures is likely to continue so that comparability is not impaired. Next,
structure and content of financial statement. Financial statement are presented with equal prominence. Since magkakakonekta sila or interrelated, kino-consider natin sila na magkakasing importante. Kasi minsan, yung amount na nakukuha or figure na meron tayo sa isang bagay ay nagpro-proceed sa ibang financial statement. For example, the statement of comprehensive income, the total there will proceed to the statement of changes in equity. And yung equity na makukuha natin doon is magpo-proceed sa statement of financial position in equity part. Tapos ito, next is heading of financial statement. Ito yung example niya. On the first line, name of the reporting entity. On the second, yung pangalan ng financial statement na yon. Third line is the date of the end of the reporting period. And last is the level of rounding off and presentation of currency. So, yun. Next, for the year ended and as of. Ginagamit natin yung for the year ended sa comprehensive income and changes in equity kasi pag sinabi natin for the year ended, may specific span of time. Like for example, January 1, 2020, nag-e-end siya December 21, 30. Pag as of naman, statement of financial position and statement of cash flow. Yung information na yon ay as of the certain date or at specific point of time. Meaning, as of that specific date, as of December 31, yun yung financial position and cash flow ng company. Next, management responsibility. Ito yung mga management responsibility na kailangan alam and nagpe-prepare tayo ng statement of management responsibility for financial statement na makikita natin sa cover page ng financial statement. Pinipirmahan to ng chairman of board, chief executive officer, chief financial officer, or their equivalents. Next, statement of
statement of financial position provides entities financial condition in a certain date. Statement of financial position is also known as balance sheet that report three main important information of the entity. And the three important information is assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. Next,
presentation of statement of financial position. Meron tayong classified, unclassified, and mixed. Sa classified, there is a distinction between current and non-current asset. So, na-highlight dito yung working capital which is current asset minus current liability na mine-measure din yung liquidity. It is the simplest form of measuring or computing the liquidity. Ano ba yung liquidity? It is the capability of the company on nabayaran yung short-term liabilities niya or short-term debts niya. Next is unclassified. Sa unclassified, there is no distinction between current and non-current items. Tapos mixed presentation, it may be appropriate for those who have diverse operation. Ito yung example ng classified. Next is unclassified. Refinancing agreement. Refinancing agreement, it's about meron kang long-term liabilities which is non-current na dahil sa panahon nagiging current dahil lumalapit na yung due date niya na gusto nating gawing non-current ulit by extending our debt. So, refinancing, ito yung gusto nating i-extend yung utang natin, pahabain siya para matagal natin siya mabayaran. And yung refinancing agreement, it's about the time kung ano yung napagkasunduan nating time kung gaano siya katagal mababayaran. Next, liability is payable on demand. Ito yung long-term liability natin na kapag may nilabag tayong kasunduan ay pwedeng maging payable on demand. Meaning, for example, may inutangan tayo and ang sabi is bawal tayong umutang sa iba hangga't hindi pa natin nababayaran yon. So, kapag nangutang tayo sa iba at nalabag natin yung kasunduan na yun, pwedeng maging liabilities payable on demand yung utang natin. At kapag payable on demand ang liability, meaning classified siya as current liab. Next, statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income. There are two ways of presenting it. Single, or tinatawag nating statement of comprehensive income, or two statement, or statement of profit and loss, or income statement, and statement of other comprehensive income. So, profit and loss, it's about income less expense. Ito yung mga profit and loss na may changes sa primary performance or main revenue ng company. Tapos yan. Yung approach, income minus statement equals pag may excess, equals profit, and deficiency naman means loss. So, yan. Presentation of expense. Nature of expense method and function of expense method. Kapag nature, nilalagay natin siya, kapag nature, ito yung example. So, interest expense and loss from the sales of properties are both non-operating expense. Ibig sabihin, makikita natin sa table na non-operating expense function niya is pinagsasama-sama na doon yung magkakapareha ng epekto sa financial statements. Kapag function yung of expense yung ginagamit natin, kailangan natin mag-disclose ng another notes kung ano ba yung nilalaman nung function of expense na yon. Next, other comprehensive income. At dito napupunta yung mga income and expense na hindi nare-recognize sa profit and loss or the changes resulting from other non-primary and non-revenue. So, yun. After that, ito yung example. So, meron tayong tinatawag na total comprehensive income. Total comprehensive income or sum of the profit or loss and comprehensive income. So, yun. Yung makukuha nating sagot sa total comprehensive income ay magpo-proceed sa statement of changes in equity. Statement of changes in equity, ito yung nangyayari due to contribution, withdrawals, and net income. Net income. Contribution and withdrawals, owner siya, net income and net loss, non-owner changes in equity. So, next. Walang example but you can check the book on page 137 for the example. Statement of cash flow, ito naman ay i-discuss sa past number 7. But as an introduction, it's about monitoring the movement of the money, the inflow and the outflow. Next, notes. provides information in addition to those presented in other financial statement. So, nagdadagdag siya ng information na kailangan nating malaman in the company na hindi kayang ipaalam into monetary amounts. Yun. Tsaka nire-require ng PAS 1 na dapat kung anong pagkakasunod-sunod ng financial position ay financial statement rather, ay ganun din ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng notes. Next is additional statement of financial position. This statement occur due to certain instances lang when accounting policy retrospectively, yan. Yung retrospective application of accounting policy, ito yung babaguhin mo lahat, the previous year, current year, para babaguhin mo lahat ng ginawa mo kasi may nag-change sa accounting policy. Ang retrospective statement naman is may kokorek ka lang na some errors. Ito yung example niya. And PAS 1 applies to the preparation and presentation of general purpose financial statement. The recognition, measurement, and disclosure requirements for specific transactions and other events are set out in other standards. Hope you learned something. Thank you.